Now, some compact SUVs look capable. Well, this one next to me actually is. Tom here with Go Auto, and next to me in the Go Garage is a vehicle that delivers on off-road trails, city streets, and the occasional curb you might run into. It's the 2026 Jeep Compass. Now, the whole curb thing might have been a little bit of a stretch, but this vehicle delivers off-road attitude with all the daily comforts. And the proof of that is inside with this stunning two-tone interior. Now, for starters, your seats are all black, which is great. And the dashboard and door panels is where the two-tone accent comes in with this really nice off-white pattern here. And it also has a nice contrast stitching to it. And I really appreciate this because most of the stains are gonna happen on the seats, not on the dashboard or the doors. So that way you get the pristine looking dashboard and two-tone design without actually ruining the aesthetic of it on the seats where stains might happen. I really like how they did that. On the seats, however, you do get a little pop with them on the stitching themselves to match the leather up here. The center console itself, however, just has regular black stitching, keeping it clean as possible. You can also lift this up to give you a medium-sized center console, but there's extra storage up here, which is going to be this storage bin down here, which is deep and ample to place larger items like an extra phone, wallet, maybe even a little purse, which is nice. Unfortunately though, there is no wireless charger there, so you're gonna have to go through with either the USB-A or C port located right here, which means you could put your phone there, or you could put it in the dedicated spot between the cup holders. You got 1 and 2 cup holders, and when you take your phone out of your pocket, you can place it right there in the middle, so that way it has a dedicated spot. It's not gonna be flying all over the cabin. Easy peasy. I love it. Down here as well, you do have a traditional gear selector, pull it down for drive. You also get a manual mode as well, which is really great when you want to have a little more fun off-roading. You also have your drive mode selector down here, which we'll get to when we're in the driver's display. And down below, you also got your four-wheel drive lock, which really proves that this is an off-road capable vehicle, because most SUVs that say they are don't have something like that. But one thing to note with it is that there is a couple blank switches here. Now, this is the top trim limited. What are we missing? I'm not too sure, but one thing you're not missing in this vehicle is a fully digital driver's display, which looks amazing. For starters, it's so easy to use with the steering wheel buttons on the left here. Pushing this one button allows you to customize the screen that you're looking at, and the arrow buttons allow you to change the overall layout. But the best one has to be when you hold the OK. It switches it from an analog to a digital look, which just obviously looks a little cooler and also a little more minimal, which is a little easier on the eyes. Your drive mode selector's down here, and it's so easy to go through. For one, it's a really nice tactile feeling toggle that goes from auto, snow, as well as sand and mud. We're probably not going to use that too often here, but snow, we're definitely going to be using. So it's nice that this vehicle has it quick and easy to reach out to. Now, the next thing this vehicle has is a nice infotainment system. It's a little bit on the smaller side, if I'm being honest, but it's fantastic. For starters, it's really fast and responsive to the touch, which is a great thing. You can customize the home screen to your liking, and you got all these shortcuts for media, navigation, and vehicle down at the bottom. It also comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which not only makes everything so much easier, but it also takes up the full screen in the vehicle, which I love because some vehicles make it a little smaller than it needs to be. Down here below the infotainment systems where you have a couple other drive mode controls such as auto stop start, your safety sensor turn off, as well as parking sensor off. But again, this is the top of the line and there's a couple blank switches. What are we missing? Something you're not missing is going to be climate controls that are button operated. Thank you, Jeep, for keeping these. I love it. For starters, your fan speed's a dial, easy to operate and use. Temperature up and down is just buttons, as well as direction of airflow, easy peasy. But these dials on the side are for your volume and tuning knob, and if you want to have your heated or ventilated seats on, it's only one click away through the infotainment system. Now here in the back, your overall comfort's pretty good because of the space you have. Knee room's fantastic, as well as foot room to stretch out if you needed to, even with these in my driving position. Headroom's a little bit on the tight side, but I mean, if you're not a taller person, you're gonna lounge back here effortlessly. With the middle console as well, you got air vents, USB-C and A port, as well as a 12 volt down at the bottom. One thing to note with this though is that it is gloss black. So if you have kids back here, best to make sure there's a microfiber or some wet wipes to make sure it stays nice and clean. With that as well, your child seat anchor points have nice labels on them so it's easy to see and spot, although accessing them's a little bit more challenging than other vehicles, just something to note. with that as well. These seats are going to be very comfortable for adults because they have really nice bolsters to them. Although if 3 people are planning on sitting here, they're not going to appreciate being the person in the middle, which is why you always want to make sure you take advantage of the center armrest because it gives you a nice captain chair position. It's comfortable on your arm, and you get 2 cup holders and a place to hold your phone, so that way it's not sitting between your legs on long road trips. Now here in the back of the Compass, you get a pretty good amount of space. You can fit a stroller, although for ours, we kind of had to shimmy it in place. So that's something worth noting. Definitely test that out. The thing to really mention is the floor space. You get a nice cargo liner that is carpet and rubber, which is really nice because when you want to use this side, just toss it in, and now you get a much more durable floor that can handle a beating, and it's also so much easier to clean, which is amazing when you have dogs, like large dogs, in the trunk. It's also a false floor, so when you open this up, you're greeted to a pretty decent amount of space to store things here, or you can actually lower the floor yourself. Putting this in maximizes your space so much more to increase height, which is amazing on road trips or really big Costco runs. One thing to note with this vehicle though, there's no button here to close the trunk. It's actually here on the side. Now, it doesn't really bother me, but one thing I think you gotta note with it is if you have younger kids that like to push buttons, that might be something that comes into play, so keep that in mind. And here in the back, you get a really nice design. It's really well polished. I love with the Limited, you get tinted LED taillights, and I also really appreciate the daytime running lights having nice swoops to them. Down at the bottom, you also have a gloss black bumper to match the rest of the exterior of this vehicle. And opening the trunk's really easy with a dedicated opening latch there. Never gonna miss it. But one of my favorite things has to be the chrome trim accent here under the rear window that can be seen all around the vehicle, across the side here, all the way to the A-pillar. I love that. Helps give it a really nice two-tone design without overloading you in two-tone, if that makes sense. You also see those chrome accents here on the Compass badge on the side, which you didn't see out back. Really like how it kind of distincts itself that way from other vehicles. And down below, this vehicle's sitting on 19-inch gloss black on silver wheels. Helps really give it a nice contrast and blend with all the other accents. But my favorite part about them is actually the center cap. Now, it's not the normal Jeep logo. It's actually an old school Wrangler as your center cap. I love that. It just helps give a vehicle a little more history and a little more cultural impact in terms of where it used to start to where it is today. But up front, you also get something similar with the grille. Now, for most people out there, you're just gonna see a regular grille, but you actually get 7 open air slots feeding air into that engine, and that's paying tribute to all the Jeeps prior. They've all had this. I love that they have some nice cultural design language throughout the vehicle without being too in your face, if that makes sense. Your headlights are also full LED with this vehicle and a nice simple daytime running light. I like that. And down below, you got a full gloss black bumper with a nice silver trim down at the bottom, really just tying the whole thing together. And all Compasses also come with a ton of standard safety features, like your collision assist, lane keep, blind spot, and so many others. But this top of the line Limited actually gives you a couple extra bonus features like adaptive cruise control and even lane steering, which is amazing when you're on highway drives. Vehicle just helps you, give you a second set of hands. Now, to bounce back to all Compasses, they also only get one engine option. So when you open the hood, you're going to find a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. This is making 200 horsepower with about 221 pound-feet of torque, which for a vehicle this size is pretty good. But when you combine it with the vehicle's 4x4 standard all-wheel drive system, it dominates every traction and condition it's in, especially our harsh Canadian winters. The only thing I wish I could personally add to this vehicle is maybe a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid option. I mean, that way it could at least please more people out there, in my opinion. The 2026 Jeep Compass is a compact SUV delivering daily comfort with off-road capabilities. This Limited trim is the perfect blend of both. So to learn more about it, visit goauto.ca or any of our Jeep dealerships.